And we are juking and jiving with the sounds of New Orleans right here on the show on Shaw TV, season 6, episode number 130 or something like that. Anyways, our musical guest, as you see right behind me, jazz New Orleans style with Connor Stewart and the Bon Tom. Now, Connor, he's actually from Nanaimo, but he's based down in New Orleans, has toured internationally, and I'm not even sure if he can even buy a beer yet. Anyways, we're going to talk to him, talk to the band, and get some great songs over the course of the hour. Now, also coming up on the show, we're going to look outside the box at a shoebox. There's a program called the Shoebox Project, which fills empty shoeboxes with impactful gifts for women in need. We're going to let you know how you can get involved, and I can definitely say impactful shoebox gifts definitely leads to a bit of a new balance. Now, this just proves, of course, there's people that still care out there in the world, and we're going to meet an amazing organization of women making a difference throughout North America and looking to start a new chapter up in Oceanside. Find out how you can join 100 plus women who care and how you can also help. Now, despite the fact I pretty much never wake up on time to have a proper breakfast, I'm very happy to welcome Stewart Cooking School back to the Shaw TV studios to demo some early morning meals for us. Now, you may have heard of the cowboy breakfast, but I think the version of that in Canada should be renamed the Maple Stirrup. The Maple Stirrup. Anyways, as part of our recurring Seniors Connect series, we're going to meet some of the folks behind the Better Together Champion program. We're going to learn how to identify the risk factors and warning signs of social isolation. Now, but first, the question I have for you is, how do you restore an antique? Someone on my script wrote, send Matt to the gym. But for antique artifacts, furniture, there are some real do's and don'ts and things to know, and so we're going to learn about them coming up next. So let's antique a peek at what's going on Central Vancouver Island. It's the show right here on Shaw TV.
Well, we're going to have a lot of fun on the show today. Antiques on the show, in fact. We're going to do a bit of appraising, find out about do's and don'ts, and learn all about antiques today. My guest today is Luis Porretta of Luis Porretta Fine Arts from the Nanaimo Northtown Center. Now, Luis is also a wonderful jazz record producer here in town of Quadrangle Music Productions. We're going to find out all about antiques today. Luis Porretta, welcome.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, Luis, I'm really excited. I'm into antiques, you know that. I worked with them in my youth. And so I want to show this wonderful antique here, and it's an early example of music notation. And if you can get a close-up here, down here on the music, you will see that there's only 4 staffs there, and the notes are shaped like squares. So how old is this, Luis?
I would think that piece, it's actually a leaf from a theological book. Most books printed at that time were religious books anyway. And it looks like the title of that, In Natalis Unius Martaris, which means the birth of a martyr. It's not a Bible page, although you've got Ecclesiastes there and 2 Samuel down below. So it's really a commentary on the Bible. And this is a Gregorian chant.
Yeah.
So really this sort of staff-type music came into being about 1600 years ago. There's a chap called Guido di Arezzo who actually invented this sort of music. Before that, you just had squiggles that just reminded you of the song, but not of the pitch of the song.
So what would you appraise or value this at?
I would think probably around $600 to $800 a piece like that.
Even though it's from about 1580?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did
you expect more then?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic. It's a fantastic piece, isn't it?
It is. It's in great condition.
Now,
too, so
I want to pull out this book here. We have a wonderful section that you're going to read for us, I understand, with a lithograph, is it?
Yes. Well, I won't be reading too much, but this is a very, very rare book. Written by Alexandre Rattray, who was a naval surgeon. And he came over on a gunship in 1859, sent by the British to sort out the pig war dispute down on the San Juan Islands.
I see.
And this is a book he wrote about Vancouver Island here, it's very, very early.
So let's hear the passage.
And there's a little bit of a passage there about Nanaimo. It says here, Nanaimo is yet small, and its population, which numbers from 150 to 200, consists chiefly of coal miners and their families. Its harbour is good and its export trade in coals already considerable. So when you had 200 people living in Nanaimo there in 1862, what's really interesting, it's one of the oldest lithographs you'll see of downtown Nanaimo there.
Fantastic.
See the fort there?
It's lovely.
So it's a rather interesting piece, isn't it?
Yeah, you showed it to me earlier. So now we've also got this fantastic glass, this Georgian glass.
Yeah.
Tell me all about it.
Well, this comes from my favourite period of English history, which is the Regency period, 1811 to 1820. It really was a fantastic period of liberalism in Britain, which resulted in a tremendous movement in the arts and architecture and music. And these are a really unusual set of 6 cordial glasses and in such good condition. To find a set of 6 glasses 200 years old that are not chipped or, you know, with a gold leaf still emblazoned on it, there is quite unusual. And these came from the estate of Lady Arran in England, so they've got a little bit of a pedigree to them as well.
Now we've got some valuable silver here. These are really finely carved silver pieces. Maybe explain what they are, Luis.
Yeah. This is I couldn't find a hallmark on this, but it's definitely sterling silver, and I believe it's probably made in India for the English market. But it's a card case, so when people visited the noble homes, they'd present a card to people to say who they were, and they keep their cards in there.
And this one has some carving on it as well.
Yeah, this one's definitely an Indian piece from the Raj. I would think about 1880s, and you can see there the 3 male gods and 3 female Hindu gods there. Beautifully done, lovely repousse work on that one there. Probably a snuff box or something like that at the time.
It's fantastic. Now, we're going to be back later for a second segment here on the show. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to pass it over now to the wonderful Luis Beck, who's got a wonderful project to tell us all about. Thanks for watching the show.
Thanks very much, Kerilie, for that wonderful introduction. Appreciated that. Some interesting items your guest there has. So tonight, I have with me a guest from the Shoebox Project. There's so many of the unhappy, unpleasant goings on in the world today. So many people have given in to the view that human beings are selfish, aggressive, violent. But my guest here tonight is representing an organization that proves that that opinion is a lie. I have Trish Scoular with the Shoebox Project. Trish, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Luis, for having us.
Now, the Shoebox Project, I'm going to read from the script here. It says, a shoebox gift is a powerful reminder for a woman in crisis that she's valuable, worthy, and that someone in the community is thinking of her. These are gifts that are for women that go to shelters, I believe, right?
That's correct, yeah.
I see you've got one with us. Could you show us a little bit, what's in that box you've got?
Yeah, so we're lucky to have Woodgrove Center involved. When they had approached Linda Ferguson actually last September, and they put a great big large shoebox out there in the mall for us for about 3 or 4 months. And so we gathered lots of items that were able to be given to the women in shelters, because it's going right here locally into the community. So inside the box are $50 of brand new items. So we're looking at things, this is more for winter, so we're looking at adding nice gloves, some chocolates, soaps, makeup, things like that that really make a woman feel really special.
I understand the project had some interesting beginnings. Could you take us back to the very beginning and how it all got started?
Yeah, actually it started in 2011 in Toronto by the Mulrooney daughters. And they really had heard that there was a need for women in shelters, and the kids were getting something when they were going into the shelters, but the women weren't. So they reached out, and that year they got, I think it was 525 boxes donated just in Toronto. So it's just grown down into the States and across Canada. And I think it was 4.5 years ago, Linda Ferguson's daughter had approached her. She's a businesswoman down in Souk, and so she was really excited, and they got this going, and they worked tirelessly going up and down the island. Linda did, getting different coordinators and people involved in the project. And so there is a woman by the name of Allison that coordinates the northern part of the island. I'm here in Nanaimo now, and Linda's down in Victoria. So we're really excited to be a part of this project and to be able to reach out to the women that are in shelters, and to make sure that we have all the shelters partnered in, so nobody's being missed.
I understand there's quite a few agencies that are involved. What are some of the agencies that receive these shoeboxes and distribute them?
Yeah, so it's the Nanaimo Women's Resource Center, Leslie Clark and her staff down there. are very involved in this, and also the Haven Society. And we've brought in Samaritan's House, and there's a few other agencies that they're trying to partner with, so we make sure that everyone's included.
How did you get involved in this? What was your inspiration, Trish, to get you going with the Shoebox Project?
I've always been a helping person and one that's quite compassionate, and so I became a counselor. And I was approached by Wendy Foster, actually, that got this going 2 years ago here in Nanaimo to help Linda out. And she wanted me to take on the Shoebox Project this last year and get involved. Didn't take on Shemanis, but I ended up taking on more. So
how does this all make you feel? It must bring you quite a bit of joy. What are your feelings and thoughts? And you must get a lot of feedback and return from this. What a little bit?
We do. I know when I'm picking up the boxes and I'm taking them in, I just get this really overwhelming sense of joy and just it's love. You know, the community's really giving, and the women are finding that when they're coming in, there's a lot of shame and anxiety and stuff. So when they're receiving these gift boxes, they're noticing that anxiety level is really going down, and they're really feeling that connection back to community again, which is really important because they want to feel like they're still a part and they're not being shamed or put down or made to feel like they're not included. So it's really important, and I think it's a really worthwhile project for people to get involved with.
Tell me a little bit about the volunteers. They're obviously motivated. These are the compassionate kind of people that are drawn to this. Can you tell me?
Yeah, I have. This last Christmas, I think I had 10 or 12 businesses on board, and so they were our drop-off locations. And I have 3 people on my team here in Nanaimo. So Janet Gilmore is taking care of the social media, and Kelsey Bodding is also involved, and she will deal with the drop-offs, locations, and getting the drivers, because it's a lot of work picking up the boxes and then delivering them.
What sort of growth or development do you see happening with the Shoebox Project? What do you see down the road?
Well, in Christmas time, we were hoping, the first year they did it, they got 63 boxes, I think, here locally. And this last year we got 90, I think it was 8. And then Woodgrove Center had more in the box. So I have a whole bedroom full of stuff at home that still needs to be put into boxes. And it just keeps expanding and growing, and we're really hoping to get 200. Actually, the businesses had said they didn't want to see this stop and wait until next Christmas, so they do have other projects going on throughout the year. So we're going to be doing Mother's Day, and that's the focus. So the businesses really felt that there was a need here in the community, so that's what we're doing, is focusing on Mother's Day this year as well.
Now, if anybody wants to help out, they're moved to do what as you're doing, work with the Shoebox Project, how would they get involved? Tell me.
Yeah, so they can just email me at nanaimo@shoeboxproject.com and send me an email. We're also on Facebook, and so we have a Facebook page. And my business line is 250-924-7798 if people want to get involved as well. So there's lots of ways that you can connect.
That's great, Trish. Great work.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So I'm going to throw it over to Connor Stewart and Bon Temps, who's going to play Rose Bloom.
We're back, and I'm here with Luis Porretta of Luis Porretta Fine Arts and of Nanaimo Northtown Center. We're talking about antiques. It's a ton of fun. Now, Luis also actually does a bit of restoring. So we're going to look at this lovely painting here, and half of it's finished in restoring, and half of it's just before, the before and after, and I'll let Luis take it away.
Well, I didn't bring anything spectacularly rare in today, Kerilie, because I thought these are the kind of things that your viewers are likely to stumble on. So I thought it'd be more interesting for them. But this just shows what you can do. This is a painting by Henry Fortier of the Falls in Quebec. And this just shows what you can do if you find an old painting in the thrift store or something and get it restored. You can see the true beauty coming out of it there after the years of grime have been
Well, it's amazing how you brought the colors back to life on this side. You know, they're just vibrant. Once again, what do you use to
well, it's always a
that?
mixture of different chemicals.
Chemicals.
Yeah. Don't try it at home.
Don't try it at home.
You can ruin a painting very, very quickly if you don't know what you're doing.
Leave it to the experts, right?
So it depends on the varnish that was used and
Right.
the age and all manner of stuff. Yeah.
Right. Well, now, so any other thoughts on that, or?
Well, no, just that this is a fairly traditional tourist painting from the 1860s, 1870s, so you're very likely to come across one of those, but don't walk past them because they look too black and old, because it's amazing what's underneath some of these paintings.
Now, you're going to have some antique appraisals in your store. When's that happening?
Well, we've decided to start a scheme of every Saturday afternoon we're doing a free appraisal day, but not just myself, but with a number of experts on different subjects. So that'll probably be starting March the 1st.
So we'll have to encourage everyone.
April the 1st.
April the 1st. Yeah. So April the 1st, people can get out and get some appraisals at Nanaimo Northtown Center at Luis Porretta Fine Arts. Really super exciting. Good. Now, I also wanted to ask you, how can we learn to value our own items? Are there any general tips or do's and don'ts with antiques? Like, you know?
Experience comes into it a lot.
Yeah.
But, eBay is a tremendous resource for... But if you do go on eBay to value your items, don't look at the prices asked. Go on the advanced search and press sold listings and see what they've actually sold for in the past. You'll get a good idea for most items.
Any do's or don'ts really quickly about restoration? You know, some people get going on their furniture and
don't strip the patina off furniture. Keep the age on it. That's the beauty of it.
I agree, Luis. Yeah. Well, it's so wonderful having you here now. I also wanted to mention you're also a wonderful jazz record producer here in town. I wanted to touch on that.
Jazz record producer. I don't know if I'm wonderful on that.
Oh, well, you're wonderful. I've heard your last project. It was fantastic with Red Schwager and Pete Magadini. So it's called Quadrangle Music Production. So just tell us quickly about that too.
Well, I've been in the music industry one way or the other for many, many years, and it's a sideline. It's a labour of love. They say if you want to stay poor, produce jazz records. But what we're trying to do is bring together some of the best of Canadian jazz over the next few years and produce albums for.
And you do just such a fine job. Thanks so much, Luis. I'm glad that you're in our community doing this here on Vancouver Island. It's fantastic. So we're going to wrap up this segment now. I kind of want to have you back for sure in the future because this is just so much fun. And thanks so much for sharing your wisdom and knowledge with us today, Luis.
You're welcome.
It's been absolutely fantastic. Okay, well, we're going to pass it along now to the wonderful Matt Carter, who's going to tell us about some very special people from our community only on the show.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much, Kerilie. Thank you very much, Luis, for being here as well. We've been going old school in our art and artifacts. We're going old school in our live music here in the show. And now we're going to sort of go a little bit old school in terms of fundraising, going back to where individuals in the community are coming together. So we're going to look at an organization right now called 100+ Women Who Care. Individual women in communities across North America come together to fundraise for local charities. And with us today to chat about 100+ Women Who Care, two members of the newly formed Oceanside chapter, Melissa Tracy, head in communications, and Debbie Patterson, events and sponsorship. To both of you, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Very excited to have you guys here. So let's start off with a little bit of background on the organization overall.
It started with a woman in the United States who was at a meeting and found that women were going home with newborn babies without a crib for them to sleep in. She got a bunch of women together in one room, and in an hour they raised $20,000, which is what they needed to buy cribs for these children. So she thought, wow, that's pretty cool. So she started this organization where she got 100 women in a room to raise in 1 hour at least $10,000 for a local charity in need, and it's spread across the United States, Canada, Caribbean, Ireland, and I think it's going to go around the world because it's amazing. And it's not just women. As you know, it's men who care, children who care, and people who care. So it's a wonderful organization.
Absolutely. Now, I know we were chatting before coming on the program here about also being a part of a Mid-Island chapter of the same organization, and that's sort of where, I guess, the impetus to get an Oceanside chapter together. So tell us a little bit about how that sort of spark came about.
Yeah, absolutely. So I joined the Mid-Island chapter because I wanted to be able to provide a large impact for my community, and how to do that is by giving my $100 check with 100 other women. I also don't have a ton of time, so the 1 hour meeting really was appealing to me. So I went to the meeting, and we raised, I think that day, $13,700 for the Ladysmith Resource Center. And at that meeting, I met 2 other Oceanside women who wanted to do the same thing in our area.
Perfect. All right, we'll get more into sort of recruitment at Oceanside, but I just want to get a little view of how those meetings work. So you say they're 1 hour in length. Obviously, there's money given, but how are the charities or the organizations chosen for those to receive those funds?
So prior to all of our meetings, our members nominate a charity through our website. We vet those charities to make sure that they're qualified, and to be qualified, they have to be a registered Canadian charity, and they also have to, the funds have to benefit the Oceanside community. They also need to provide us tax receipts for all of our members. So prior to the meeting, our members nominate charities, and then at the meeting, we pick 3 charities out of a basket. The member who nominated that charity then gets up and gives a short 5-minute presentation, and at the end, all of our members vote to decide which one of the 3 charities should get the group's collective funds.
Nice. And so then basically at that point, everyone's like, all right, that's the winning charity. Everyone signs a check or whatever, and
Yes.
that money is given to that charity.
Exactly. Each member writes a check directly to the charity for $100.
Perfect. So again, if you have 50 members, that's $5,000. 100 members,
Exactly.
$10,000. And as mentioned, there's already been a number of donations from the Mid-Island chapter, correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So I think since they started in June, they've raised $48,000.
$48,000. And Victoria, who has a huge group of, I think, 250. Each check that they write is between $25,000 and $30,000, and they've given a lot locally in the Victoria area. So it's really exciting to be in the room and see a big check being given to a charity who would really not, in a lot of cases, have the people power to raise that money in that short of a time, certainly.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, yeah, many hands makes light for light work.
Absolutely.
So how is recruiting going so far for the Oceanside branch? I understand you haven't had your first meeting yet.
No. We're at 85, I think, but we're very confident because they're coming in like every hour. So I know that we will have 100 by our first meeting, and our goal is to be well in the plus side.
Mm-hmm. And tell us a bit about what type of women's community you're looking to attract into. Is it pretty much open to anybody, or?
Absolutely, young, old. It's about community-minded women that want to make a large impact for our local charities.
Mm-hmm. And Oceanside, by that, it's not just Parksville, Qualicum, isn't it? Actually, it's quite a larger region.
Coombs, Arrington, Whiskey Creek, Bowser, Nanoose. Yeah, it does encompass a huge area. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Debbie, I just want to ask you quickly, in terms of where these meetings take place, I understand you're in charge of sort of
Yes.
selecting or sourcing out the places to hold the meetings?
The first meeting will be at the Bayside in Parksville. They've very graciously given us the meeting space there. And I feel that it would be nice to have it at different venues in the Oceanside area, because it's good for the members to see different places that are available in the area, and it's good for the businesses as well to be able to showcase where, a lot of people haven't been to maybe the Bayside or to Cuckoo's or to wherever we decide to have it. So it's nice to spread it around, and then it's also not just one person giving us the space the entire time.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I want to sort of draw back to one comment about the energy in the room when, again, those charities or organizations are being debated about, chosen, those checks being written. Obviously, with $100 4 times a year, it takes away from whatever the movie budget or whatever the case.
Exactly.
So you give something out, but you also get something back. So speak about what that is, those intangibles you get back from knowing you give to these organizations.
It's tremendously valuable for myself to know that my $100 is doing so much more than just a $100 check in the mail to a charity. That potentially that $100 collectively with the other women could keep the lights on for that charity. And to me, that makes me feel really good because I know there's so many charities that really, really struggle with funds.
Absolutely. Very well said. Melissa, Debbie, thank you guys very, very much for being here and for your efforts putting the Oceanside chapter again of the organization together. Last question for you, for those who are watching might be interested in joining the group or finding out more information, how can they find more information on the Oceanside chapter?
They can go to our website, it's 100womenoceanside.com, or visit us on Facebook, which is also 100 Women Oceanside.
Exactly. Again, that first meeting is coming up in April 5th, is it?
At
2 weeks today, 2 weeks, April the 5th at the Bayside at 7 o'clock.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank
And
you.
it's only an hour.
Exactly. Yeah. And a ton of difference made in that hour. So again, thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right, so we're going to turn now from food for thought about fundraising into food for breakfast. And personally, I think there's no one better to talk about food for breakfast than our host and also producer, Anna Bosa, because her name is an anagram for So Banana. So Banana, isn't that right? Yeah.
Is it really? That's awesome. I did not know that, Matt.
So Banana.
Awesome. And speaking of bananas, now what I just found out, did you know that coffee is not breakfast, even with the cream? It's not considered a healthy breakfast choice. And today here with me is from Stewart Cooking School is Kelly and Jennifer. Welcome.
Hi there.
And today we are going to be doing a sweet potato smoothie. Yum. And potatoes for breakfast, who would have thought?
Absolutely, absolutely. We
Not
want
coffee,
to
but
shake
potatoes.
things up a bit, exactly. Kelly and I really believe that breakfast is super important.
Not like me, eh?
Not like you. You need a lot of work. So coffee's not going to do it. So we're going to make a sweet potato smoothie. It's super easy. It's something you can have the ingredients in the fridge and your family can just get it out and grab it and go. The only thing you have to cook ahead of time is the sweet potatoes, which is super easy. Yep. Cook them up on a Sunday, a pan of them, and they're ready to go. Yep. So Kelly and I produced this recipe because a lot of people we know were going to a certain place and having something called a pumpkin spice latte. And we started to look at what was in a pumpkin spice latte, and we couldn't find anything healthy.
Probably no pumpkins either.
No pumpkins, and just a lot of little additive things. So we decided to make our own version. This smoothie would be excellent for the mornings, but it's also really, really good for those morning exercisers because it contains a 4-to-1 ratio of carbohydrates to proteins. Excellent. So after you've exercised, it will replenish your glycogen stores and you'll be good to go. So I'm going to start making it. And Kelly's going to tell us more about why breakfast is important.
So really, Anna, why isn't coffee good to start with? Especially on an empty stomach, coffee will deplete things like iron and stuff. So even if you could, start your morning with some breakfast, yes, and then have your coffee, that would be a great switch up.
Right.
But also too, just to start your day with some protein and some healthy fat. And so that's what we're adding today, making sure we do have some protein sources. So, nuts and seeds or Greek yogurt,
I love Greek
hemp in a smoothie or something like that would be a great addition. And that'll keep you going and get you from having that morning energy crash where you just completely,
feel like the day's
and then you
over.
need more coffee and you feel like more sugar and all the things that aren't going to serve you well.
Right, of course.
So Kelly, let's take a look at what we've put in here so far.
Okay.
We've got our sweet potato that's been roasted, so it's not hard as a rock, it's nice and mushy. And we put in a banana for potassium. We've also got coconut water, which is phenomenal for electrolytes.
It is too,
you have
isn't
to
it?
replenish after you exercise. We did use Greek yogurt, but you can use other sources of protein, such as nut butter or hemp. So you don't have to just use yogurt.
Especially
tofu.
if you're lactose intolerant, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right?
And this mushy looking thing,
I love mush.
that is simply oatmeal that's been soaked overnight. Why do we soak oatmeal overnight? Because in a smoothie, you don't want to have big crumbs.
That's right.
And
it makes it really nice and soft.
absolutely beautiful and
I
rich.
soak my oatmeal before I do have
Do
oatmeal.
you?
for
Oh my
breakfast.
goodness. That's good. That's a healthy breakfast. And we're going to add a bit of cinnamon. Cinnamon is a really wonderful digestive aid, and cinnamon tastes sweet without doing anything. It's just a wonderful thing to add. So
It
cinnamon
does
goes
too,
in.
doesn't it?
It does, and you don't need to
Yeah.
add anything. So
And it's great to help blood sugar stabilization as well. So to
really?
keep your blood sugar nice and even, add cinnamon to lots of things.
Especially after you've worked out.
exactly. We're going to add a tidgy bit of honey, but you don't have to add honey. We're just going to throw that in there because I know the camera crew likes it.
We're all sweet tooth here.
Do a little splash of maple syrup or something.
Syrup?
Oh, that would work too, wouldn't it?
That would be good.
Flavor.
You could have frozen blueberries in here too.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Kelly's
actually,
gonna
that
hold
would
it
give a
on
nice
here.
Sweetness too.
Here we
It's
go.
gonna take off. Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
Okay. Get it all swirled up.
That's right. And it shouldn't take very long either because everything's been soft and mushy and
Yeah, everything's ready to go. So
Exactly.
that's it. Now, could you see doing
Wonderful.
that in the morning? Did
Oh,
that
yeah,
take me very
totally.
long?
Not long at all.
You know, even in my house, sometimes
Easy.
we put them in a mason jar. I'll make up one for each of my
Yep.
family. I do everything except the banana. They throw it in
Yep.
the morning, and then they just, when they're done,
Add
they
the
put it back
banana.
in their mason jar, and they can hit the road.
and bring it with you.
Yes,
So
exactly.
they-
So
you have
there,
no
you
excuse
know.
not
No
to have breakfast.
excuses.
You could
And I
even-
like the mason jar idea
Yes,
too.
and you could even take it on your bike.
I'm gonna start riding again. I know.
So,
I
and
know. I
this
know.
is just one version of a smoothie. There's a million different ways to make smoothies.
Yes, of
We
course
try
there
to
is.
get, the most important thing is we try to get some fiber and some protein and try to keep it low glycemic so that your blood sugar isn't going up and down.
Yeah, up and down,
Yeah.
which is really important.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's our smoothie, and our next discussion, we're going to talk about making chia pudding.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yay.
Thank you so
Okay.
much,
Thank
Jennifer and
you.
Leslie. Right now, we're going to go over to the main set. Pardon me, to the music set. Matt's going to interview Connor and some of the musicians who are awesome.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much, Anna. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jennifer and Kelly, as well, on your blender bender over there. Look forward to seeing what's coming up next for breakfast. But right now, I'm very happy to welcome the Nanaimo native but world citizen Connor Stewart and the Bon Temps here to the Shaw TV studios. I call him world citizen because he's based in New Orleans, from here. He's toured internationally, and now back in Western Canada. Connor, welcome back to the show.
It's good to be back, Matt.
I'm very stoked to have you here, partially because you were here last time. We had some microphone problems. It looks like we've got those worked out, and also you brought a whole band, so no matter if microphones are on or not, we're going to hear you guys no matter what.
Indeed.
Yeah. So let's first want to introduce members of the band and see who the heck we've got on stage.
All right, well, from Vancouver, holding down the bass, we got Noah Gottfried. And on the drum set, also from Vancouver, Aaron Levinson. Here from Nanaimo, we got Andrew Janison on the guitar. On the trombone, all the way from Ponchatoula, Louisiana, this is Miles Lyons. And on the cornet from New Orleans, this is Kevin Lewis, y'all.
Perfect. There you go. So you got a whole international outfit right here. We'll talk to some of these guys here in a bit. Connor, we want to talk about you for a quick moment. Now, in terms of your background, most student musicians, you know, in school will start in grade 5 or 6, age 10 or 11. You started a little bit later, but that musical conviction, quite strong with you. So take us back to when you first said, all right, music is something I want to do.
Well, by the time I started playing the sax, I was lucky enough to be learning at home with my parents, and I had a lot of choice as to what I wanted to learn. And I had been introduced to music on the local scene through the university, big bands, and high schools. I was at a concert with my brother, and I turned to him and I said, man, that looks like so much fun. I want to play. And he said, get down there, man. He asked to play one of those saxophones, like, see if you can do it. So very shortly after, I realized that this is what I wanted to do with my time. So I've been busy at it since.
Absolutely. So what was the spark then to move all the way down to New Orleans?
Well, I'd spent a lot of time playing with my friends in Vancouver, Noah and Aaron, in different formats, mostly in one band. And they took a road trip down to New Orleans. They said, man, you got to come down. And I booked a trip for about a month and a half, came down.
Nice. So how old were you when you eventually moved down there full time?
I just turned 18 at the time. I made the move a month after my vacation. I came down, there's a work opportunity, and I called my mom and dad, and I said, I need to head down, need to find out, and they were okay with that.
I was going to say their response was completely supportive. Head on down there to the States.
Yeah, I was lucky.
Perfect. All right. Well, I want to pass the mic over here to some of your bandmates. Let's pass it over here to Miles, first off, who I understand you're Connor's roommate.
Yeah.
All right. So who is this crazy Canadian? Is he an okay guy to live with?
He's a great guy to live with. He's introduced me to a lot of music, and I've also, we pretty much, it's been a good exchange, I would say. It's been a good time. So.
Nice, excellent. We'll pass it over here to Kevin for a sec on the cornet. As Connor mentioned, from Louisiana, from New Orleans. Speak a little bit about the music scene here. Maybe folks in Vancouver Island might not know how rich and diverse it is.
New Orleans music scene is full of a whole bunch of different kinds of music. Some people might just think traditional jazz when they think of New Orleans, but there's a huge funk scene there, R&B, there's a gospel scene there. And we have a lot of people coming in town as well. So we have people from all over the world, musicians from all over the world that's living in New Orleans and playing the music, So, it's a great city to be in.
Yeah. So I guess then my follow-up question would be also like that. So the music scene's great. For those of us up here that may be thinking of traveling to New Orleans to visit, what else can you tell us about on the city?
What else can I tell you about? It's a lot warmer than here. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's right, because this is actually your first time in Canada, isn't it?
Yeah, for this long period of time, definitely. My first time being on this side of Canada. I've been to the Montreal Jazz Festival,
Nice.
Monterey, but it's first time being on this side, and it was freezing in Calgary.
A little bit warmer. I'm gonna get you to pass the mic back over your mouth for a sec. Is this your first time up in Canada?
Yes.
How are you enjoying the time so far?
I love it. Great people.
Nice.
Good people, yeah.
Well, we're definitely glad to benefit from the music you guys are bringing. I'm gonna get you to pass the mic back over to Connor here for a sec. And just talk a little bit about the traditional jazz you guys are playing. What is it about that music that really resonates with you?
Well, for me, I grew up listening to a lot of Louis Armstrong. So for me, I feel like I'm connecting with the music I love. I get to speak a language with other people that, both they and I will recognize. And I think it's music that's important to the history of North America and to music right now.
Cool. Two quick questions here before we get you guys back playing tunes again. I know your dad's here. He's been a big booster, almost a de facto promotions manager for it. And again, from your family saying, yep, you're all good to go to New Orleans. Just speak a little word about his support, your family's support, about the music journey you've been on so far.
I don't know where I'd be really without the support of my family and people in my life who want to see music get made and want to see me play music. And just that love for culture and music, especially from your family, is good. That's how you keep art strong in your culture. Right. So I've been lucky.
All right, we got to get to the tunes real quick though. You're in the middle of a Western Canadian tour. Where are some of the other quick stops, and then we'll let you get back to play some music.
Well, tonight we're going to be playing at the Nanaimo Bar from 8 to 10. That's on Front Street. And tomorrow night we're playing at the Avalanche. I think that might be sold out in Courtney. And Frankie's on Friday in Vancouver. So.
Perfect. All right. Well, grab the mic back from me here so you can get ready to play. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, a lot of folks have traveled. Even from Vancouver is technically overseas as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to hear another tune here from Connor Stewart and the Bon Temps. Again, in the middle of a Western Canadian tour. A little track here called Singin' the Blues for you on the show on Shaw TV.
Oh, baby, I've been weeping just like a willow tree without a wink of sleeping. Where is your sympathy? All is black round the shack since you said goodbye to me. Oh, I'm just singing the blues till my baby comes home. These meanest blues they pursue since she left me all alone. With every blue string, a new pain comes into my heart. I just cry at the sighing part. Oh, well, it sure works your nerves when you hear yourself moan. If I had all I deserve, I wouldn't be so all alone. I wouldn't walk all night and sit by the window in the candlelight, just singing the blues till my baby comes home. works your nerve when you hear yourself moan. If I had all I deserve, I wouldn't be so all alone. I wouldn't walk all night and sit by the window in the candlelight, just singing the blues till my baby comes home. Just singing the blues till my baby comes home.
When you think about being a champion, very often we think about an athlete. Today I want to talk about a different type of champion. I want to talk to you about a community champion. There's a wonderful new program in Nanaimo called Better Together Champions that's focused on reducing senior social isolation. Today I'm joined by Lynn Henshaw and Michelle Lieberson from the Nanaimo Disability Resource Center, and they're going to tell us how we can all become Better Together champions. Welcome.
Thanks. Thanks for having us on.
So, Lynn, tell me, what is your program, Better Together Champions, all about, and why is it important?
Yeah, sure. So the Better Together Champion program is really about learning about social isolation in seniors, identifying potential seniors who are at risk, learning what to do when seniors perhaps are at risk, and having a plan of action for that.
And so what exactly is social isolation?
Yeah, so I mean, social isolation is a lack of sort of mutual relationships where you've got a benefit to both parties, and seniors, as they age particularly, are at risk of social isolation through perhaps a partner dying, through perhaps illness, health, loss of a driver's license, and things like that. And it is deemed to be the new smoking. So in terms of health, mental, physical, and quality of life, it's extraordinarily detrimental to health.
Okay. So if I were to take one of your Better Together Champion workshops, what would I learn?
Yeah, so we actually teach in a workshop format. We keep it fun, but at the same time, you're going to learn about the risk factors of social isolation. You're going to learn about looking for patterns of behavior that might indicate that a senior's at risk. And then you're going to actually learn about what to do. There's also ethics and privacy and sort of your legal obligations as well covered in the program. And in the end, we actually hope to have champions who are confident in going out and really being the eyes and ears of the community, looking for seniors who may be at risk and having a plan of action, what to do in case that they run across that person.
Okay. So Michelle, you are from the Nanaimo Disability Resource Center, and you are a graduate of the program. So if you'd like to tell us a little bit about your experience and why someone your age would get involved in a seniors program, and how did you benefit from this program?
I realized I wanted to get more involved in the community and I wanted to help seniors, and this workshop seemed like a great fit, and it was. Lynn and Lori do a fantastic job. It was incredibly informative, and I work at the Nanaimo Disability Resource Center, and we provide free computer and technology training for persons with disabilities and seniors. So we're working with seniors on a daily basis, and something that I mentioned during the workshop was that I'm shy approaching a senior at work or in the community to ask them if they need help. But now that I'm a Better Together champion, I have the confidence to ask if they need help, and I know now where to go for the support.
Okay. Can you tell me, where did the idea for this program come from, Lynn?
Yeah, well, there's actually a program in Calgary, and it ironically is called Seniors Connect. A gentleman, what happened was a gentleman who was a senior died in his home, was left there for 2 or 3 months, papers piling up, yard in disarray, and everyone just looked the other way. And so based on that, really Calgary sort of took action, created this program, and thousands of their residents have gone through the program now.
Okay. So the people that have graduated from your program, how is it changing the interaction with seniors in Nanaimo?
Yeah, so I can give you an example of a recent champion who told me that after taking the program, it snowed a lot, as you know. She had a senior living next door. She went and knocked on her door. Hey, can you use some help? Yes, I can. She was a senior herself, so she rallied a high school student to come along. They shoveled and made sure that this particular person was able to get around and get out as she needed to. So that's just one example of many that have come out of the program.
All right, so what we're really talking about here is we're talking about making Nanaimo a much more age-friendly community. This is typically what this program is doing.
Yeah.
So tell me, where do I go for training and who takes it?
Well, people can certainly get in touch with me, and there is an upcoming session. It's coming up on April 21st at the Seniors Connect Center, 150 Wallace Street in downtown Nanaimo, 10 a.m. to 11:30. It is free. And community groups, businesses, really anyone can book us for the hour-and-a-half presentation, and we're happy to come to your place or arrange a place. So, yeah.
All right. Well, if you're interested in becoming certified, sure get in touch. This is a really, really worthwhile program. Now I'm going to throw it back over to Anna and the ladies from the Stir Cooking School.
Thank you, Jane. And we are going to be doing I love it, chia. I don't know if everybody remembers chia pets.
Yes.
But we're going to be making a chia
pudding.
Pudding.
So
that's what I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
Thank you.
something great for breakfast.
And now, is that where the chia comes from?
Absolutely,
It's like
it
the
was
chia
made
pet
famous by the chia pet. It's really the exact same thing, except now we're eating it way more instead of growing it on clay heads.
And we're not sprouting it.
Or clipping it.
Yeah, so we're going to start off, this is really simple. You make the night before, you pop it in your fridge, and it's ready in the morning. So instead of coffee, you can go to that, and you're all set. So we're going to start off with some fruit. Today we have some strawberries.
We've chosen beautiful.
Organic, because they've been on the top of the Dirty Dozen list for a couple years in a row. So
I've heard about that.
Or local would be great. So some fruit, it doesn't have to be strawberries. Local blackberries you've picked when they're ripe would be great too. And we're going to do a whole can of coconut milk. And
yummy.
We choose the regular stuff, not the light, so we get all the healthy fat that coconut has to offer.
Right.
And a little bit of maple syrup. We want to just give it a little bit of sweetness, and of course it tastes delicious.
It does taste delicious.
Splash of vanilla.
And since we have lots of maple syrup in Canada, it's nice to use
Yes,
our own
absolutely.
products.
So really I'm going to start with that. I'm just going to blend it really quickly. You could do this in your blender if you don't have one of these immersion blenders. And we're just going to make it nice and smooth. And then when it's all smooth, we're just going to add in our, want to take that?
Sure.
We're going to add in our chia. These beautiful little seeds.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's it. We take them, we dump them in once it's all smooth, and we stir it. Now it looks really loose and thin right now.
Yeah, it does.
But by morning, because it's mucilaginous, soaks up the liquid, it's going to be nice and thick.
Seriously,
like
this turns into that?
Yes. So, you know, if not overnight, probably at least 4 hours. It's quite amazing how,
that's shocking.
And that's really good for gut health, you know, cleaning everything out and helping things move nicely through your system.
Wow, I'm totally surprised.
Now chia is considered a complete protein, so it does have some protein as well as omega-3 fatty acids, which are great, and a lot of people are lacking in their diet.
And the protein is always really good too when you're working out. It's something you can
Absolutely.
have.
Easy to add in. So what we like to do, I'll let you sort of design your own here, Anna. We make these little jars, and you could make these up in advance and put a lid on it, stick it in the fridge like this too, and then you're ready. And then we have our toppings.
So you just put toppings on top of it?
Yeah.
And you can put whatever,
So we've got, you know, you could use anything you really have.
Hemp seeds.
For more protein and omega-3s.
Oh, I like those.
And nuts and seeds, more protein again.
So you can
and
make
fruit.
whatever
you kind of have in your pantry or fresh fruit you might have on hand. This is what we do. And if people come to my house, this is probably the breakfast they're going to get. Or I've even been known to serve it as dessert.
Now that
you don't have a sweet tooth.
And now that you've shown me how quick and easy it is to make,
Matt,
My house.
I think Matt should have
come
You
make
need
some
to try
breakfast.
this too. Yes, come have some breakfast.
So we're
I
going to
like
do chia. This is strawberry chia pudding for breakfast.
Is this going to put sprouts on my head?
Well,
It might.
if all goes well.
So you can customize your own with different seeds and hemp
Whatever
seeds
you want on it.
and fruit, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
And then this is what you could have for breakfast. And
I
this,
love it. I'm going to
yeah.
put some
Sesame.
blueberries on there too. I can't do bananas, unfortunately.
Sunflower
Oh.
seeds here. We've got hemp. We've got
I
pumpkin
wear
seeds.
my sunflower at
Incidentally,
night.
pumpkin seeds have the highest amount of protein of any of the seeds.
Really?
And iron.
and
really good source of iron.
zinc and magnesium as well. So
So they're like
they're probably my
super-
favorite
super
seed.
healthy.
So basically, pumpkin seeds will make you feel all jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, exactly. You'll be Popeye overnight.
Oh, we can't have the bananas. Those are annas. I love blueberries too. I want to try it. I want to try it. I want to try it. I'm ready to eat.
Yeah, the bananas are all
Let us know if
mine.
you eat that for breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
we've
my
got some Converse. So Anna is now going to
Breakfast, lunch,
start
and
having.
dinner.
And honestly, you saw how long that took. It was really quick.
It's really good. I love it.
I'm gonna stop interrupting and sorry, and let you guys finish off with this grill.
All right, so
Yum.
we've given you a couple of really great breakfast ideas.
Yeah.
And we hope that if
This
not
is
Anna,
really
everybody
delicious.
else in the room starts eating a healthy breakfast.
I will.
Because it is the most important meal of the day. If you think of
It
getting
is.
in your car and putting water in instead of gas, that's what's happening in the morning if you don't put breakfast. Your car will not run. So
true.
take care of your brain and your body and have a healthy breakfast.
Yes. Healthy body, healthy mind.
You got it.
Thank you so much,
Alrighty,
Jennifer.
our pleasure.
Thank you.
Awesome for coming.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Love
gone.
it.
And a tasty breakfast, exactly. I'm not sure if
busy
you can see
talking.
that there, but that is just a complete destruction of the chia there, which I have brutally slayed. So I'm very happy about it. So yes, thank you guys so much for being here for letting us and our viewers know about more great, awesome breakfast. Because
Oh, and
what you're gonna
just
say
wanted to mention Stir Cooking
yes,
School.
we have a class.
www. Yes, because we forgot to mention
Oh,
that.
and we've got a curry class coming up
We
very
had a
soon.
curry
April
class
1st.
hurry.
and fermentation class at Palm Natural Markets.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So just look
Check
at our
out their website.
Yeah, come join us.
awesome. Anna,
Thank you.
Jennifer,
Sorry
Kelly,
about that.
no problem. Thank you guys so much for being here again.
Thanks, Matt.
Breakfast can't just
my gosh,
be
this is
exactly protein all the time. So, do you know actually what my favorite breakfast song is though? Benny and the Jets. Benny and the Jets. But only when listening on summer holidays. So, that time of the year. Anyways, I don't want to waffle around too much longer because the show won't be over easy unless, of course, the TV signal is scrambled, by some serial killers or something. Anyway, so I do want to say thanks so much to all of our guests and hardworking volunteers and staff in front of the cameras behind the scenes. I do want to can you point the camera over this way. Everyone say happy birthday, Rob. Happy birthday, Rob!
Thank you, everybody.
He turns 21 next week, so I wanted to give him a shout out. Anyways, you can also find more about this program on Facebook, facebook.com/The Show on Shaw. Also find more information on Shaw TV Centre Vancouver Island Twitter. And hey, you can find previous episodes of this program on YouTube, as well as through the Shaw TV Nanaimo website as well. Do you have an event, cause, demonstration, chia, or issue you'd like to bring to the show? We're always looking for great Vancouver Island guests, so drop a line to our executive producer, Kelly Robinson at kelly.robinson at sjrb.ca. And if you want to volunteer on the show, we're always looking for great staff members here. Contact our volunteer coordinator, Melissa Hall, at melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. But before we go, we have this incredible band over here to my left. You're right watching at home. So let's have another song from Connor Stewart and the Bon Temps, The Weary Blues. Cheers, and thank you so much for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
window, catch it for a fall. Shimmy, she wobble all night long. Here we go singing the same old songs. I'm going away and I won't be back till fall. Shake it, break it, and hang it on the wall. Come on, y'all, where y'all at? I say shake it, break it, hang it on the wall. Throw it out the window, catch it for a fall. Shimmy, she wobble all night long. Here we go singing the same old songs. I'm going away and I won't be back till fall. Shake it, break it, and hang it on the wall. Come on, Connie. All night long, here we go singing the same old songs. I'm going